Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, happy Tuesday ho. Happy Tuesday. Welcome ho sa ating program. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN. Ito po ang programang Legal Advice Corner and it comes to you every Tuesday evening ho from 6 p.m. So, sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ho ng United Kingdom, welcome ho. Siyempre, hindi lang ho rito sa United Kingdom nanonood yung ating mga kababayan, no? So, tuloy ho kaya kabayan. So, yung ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ng Europa, welcome din ho kayo sa ating program. So, good evening ho. Happy Tuesday ho sa inyo. Siyempre, buong mundo nanonood ho sa atin. Sa apat na sulok ho ng mundo. America, Canada, Middle East, Philippines, and nanonood ho sa atin. So, welcome din, no? Tuloy kayo, kabayan. Dito ho sa Legal Advice Corner on a Tuesday evening. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN. Welcome ho sa ating program. Pero, hindi ho ako ang star of the show. Ang star of the show natin ay itong ating, well, batang-batang abogada ho, no? Brains and beauty combination. Hindi lang brains and beauty, ano pa ba? Pati, ano ho to fitness buff no? Lately, nasa ano na sila, fitness, ano, yung, ano naman tawag dito, may legs, ano, bums and thumbs, no? So, it's something new that I've learned from her, no? Although, of course, alam natin legs, we have to develop that, no? Bums and thumbs, no? Tummies. Kailangan maging trim yung ating mga chan, di ba? Kasi yun ang problema ho natin, yung mga belly fats ho natin, But anyway, papatiin natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, no? Na eksperto, syempre, no? Dito ho sa mga legal questions ho ninyo dito sa United Kingdom. Pabatiin natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, no? Walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA QUINTO. Attorney, magandang gabi. Happy Tuesday.
Magandang gabi, Mr. LARAGAN. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back sa ating Legal Advice Corner. It's been a fantastic week at spring na nga. I'm looking at my weather, 11 degrees Celsius na, much better dahil medyo warmer na. So, yeah, happy Tuesday, everyone. It's nice to be back here. It's nice dahil nakita natin last weekend. It's quite special kasi after a couple of years of SRB, Social Remote Bubble, nag-face-to-face na tayo with our viewers. I managed to see regular viewers natin, sina Tita Emeline, Tita Cora, Edgar and Irene, Edgardo Cagahastian, Ana Lu Antipuesto. Yes, andyan sila lahat. Si Sol, si Leslie, andyan din. Yeah, Irene, as I've said, and most especially si Mr. LARAGAN. I've seen again. It's very, very good. Well, umuwi tayo sa Pilipinas kasi di ba, Philippine Embassy, Philippine soil yan.
Yes. So,
sa Pilipinas, we saw each other for everyone who's just tuning in. We saw each other over the weekend nung Sabado sa ating embahada sa London. So that was quite exciting. It's nice to see everyone. Well, see as in social remote bubble, see everyone again today. So maraming salamat po sa mga pumunta at sumuporta at nakaka-touch at nakakatuwang makita in person, put a face to the name, kumbaga, after a long time. It's nice to see people. Nakakatawa. It's really, really great.
Well, since you mentioned it, no, ikaw na nag-mention nga, yung congratulations sa legal clinic last time. It was a nice opportunity to help our kababayans, no. Maski pa by way of doing that, no, meron tayong mga kababayan na natugunan ng konti, no? Or nasagot yung mga questions nila legally. So thank you very much for that. We are so proud of what you've done. You being a part of the International Women's Month na sineselebrate ng Philippine Embassy, no? So congratulations. It was really wonderful. Simula lang yan, and hopefully in future makakasama lang natin hindi lang the likes of Emmeline and the rest of them, sila Ma'am Cora and everybody, Edgar Duay and Irene. We will get the chance to hopefully lumuwag na, no? Pero may balita ako sa tumaas daw yata incident sa Scotland, attorney, no? Sana have you
positive actually, bits and bobs of people getting positive getting positive result on COVID. But sana nga patuloy-tuloy na to, and hindi po possible yung Saturday without my teammates, Manpreet, Angel, Rona, Lauren. Farida wasn't able to make it because she was not feeling well, but the team has been amazing, and the embassy officials as well, na talaga namang napaka-organized. Kudos to them. Si Vice Consul Bea, very, very organized. Consul General Ren, just so humble, so warm. Miss Ellen. We had volunteers as well. Chloe, the young Filipino law student. It was such a good day. It was such a talagang taas ng energy. Everyone wants to serve. Of everyone during that day just wanted to give back. Tumulong lang kung ano yung pwedeng itulong sa mga kababayan natin. And nakakatuwa kasi kahit yung feedback din ng mga teammates ko, tuwan-tuwa sila at gusto na nila maging Pilipino. At tuwan-tuwa sila sa adobo. May adobo, vegetarian na adobo. Sabi niya, mas lang pa eh. Dana, I really like adobo. Sabi ko, ano? What? Adobo.
May adobo ba? May adobo ba ron?
Yeah, may nung lunch po, so the embassy got us lunch.
Okay, sa adobo. Okay, yes, good.
Yun yung pinakain sa kanila, and some, yung mga may mga achara, may pickles. It was all in a nice packaged, lovely lunch. So thank you, nakakatawa.
Thank you. Thank you sa embassy.
Kasi, when I'm at work, obviously I speak English because I can't speak Tagalog. But when I was there at the embassy, nagtatagish ako, nagtatagalog diretso. Tas minsan hindi po na-update yung brain ko na Briton na pala yung kausap ko. So a few times I spoke with them in Tagalog, and I think they were quite amused about that.
You got carried away, nasanay ka na, puro nakita mo, puro Pinoy,
Yeah, I got carried away. I was in the motherland, and I thought, kala ko Filipino pa rin yung kausap ko. So that was nice. I think they love everyone. They love the warmth of the Filipinos, and nakakataba din ng puso na very, very pleased din sila sa kultura natin. So it was fun to introduce Jose Rizal at i-explain yung bandila natin.
Okay. You did some explanation ba? Doon sa Rizal Hall.
Yeah.
Rizal Hall tayo, di ba? Rizal Hall yan, no?
Ganun talaga yun. Kasi kami sa Sentro Rizal. Kahit anong room namin, merong rebulto si Rizal. And there's always a Philippine flag. So, it'd be nice to show them, these big symbols of Filipino culture, and gave them a quick crash course ng history natin. So, I think they're all very, very interested dun sa ating kultura. I'm a proud Filipino. I've always been vocal kung ano yung ethnicity ko. And I think they were also quite interested dun sa ating yung ating background, yung ating home, kumbaga. Very good. It's very, very good.
Attorney, sino yung receptionist ninyo na talagang siya ang una namin napapansin talaga? Everybody's kind naman, okay naman, maayos sila, we like them. But there was one in particular, yung receptionist yata ninyo na talagang very, sabi nga, very natural yung kanyang smile, and yung parang eagerness niya to be there. It's coming out as really, really parang very warm. Sabi nga nung mga kasama mo, talagang natural, talagang naturaleza daw niya yan eh. Sino yung receptionist niyo?
Si
Si Lauren. Yeah. Oo. So, tutuwa kami kay Lauren.
She's a very lovely person. Parang ang Pilipino yun kasi
Ito si Lauren. Sige, tulo. Oops, yun, direct. Yung kanina. Yung kanina. Yan, si Lauren. Kabisado ng direct. Oo. Go ahead, as you were saying, attorney. Kasi nakita ko lang sa gilid na nandyan, so pinapa-flash ko na kay direct. Go ahead, sorry, go ahead. As you were saying?
No, she's very kind, a very kind, very warm person. Feeling ko nga parang ano din sa ating kultura and values. And she lives with her grandmother, which I find very adorable. At parang Filipino din siya in that way. So she's very sweet. She's a very positive person and very helpful. Kaya din namin siya dinala. Sabi, punta kasama ka sa amin. And we're all very appreciative of her kasi, alam mo yun, minsan, you need to be reminded of the bright side of life. Sa mga abogado kasi we're quite used to dealing with problems and dealing with the darker side of things, and you get this bright ray of sunshine.
Very parang innocent, parang very parang di ba na very innocent looking talaga siya. Si Lauren okay, ha?
The team is all around us, hindi naman kami ganun kaseryoso ng mga tao. So everyone's very positive at they wanted to be there. Yun ang appreciate ko din sa lahat ng team members. Hindi ko sila pinorse. Hindi ko sila I think they want to be there and they want to participate, and that's very, very appreciated. That's Manpreet, ang aking team member. He's also a lawyer. Na pareho kaming naka-blue. Yan ang aming uniform as litigators kasi we're only limited by the court kung ano yung pwede namin masuot. So parati kami naka-blue at naka-white if it's a court day. If it's always a court day, yan ang namin. For me, it's my, kumbaga, superstitious ako. It's always my lucky color.
We have a chat. Nagulat nga siya dahil when I mentioned about when we had the interview, what stuck with me, aside from the topic na diniscuss natin, yung kanyang horseback riding lesson, remember? So
I think everyone, lahat ng is kahit dito sa opisina, because we got her a little horse for her birthday. Kasi yun nga, is one of her amusing stories.
Yeah, I was telling her actually we live right next to Richmond Park. May mga kabayo rito, mga stables. So we also, Sol and I have parang nag-cross the mind namin, ano kaya subukan natin 1 hour, kabayo lang, di ba? Who knows? At least why not give it a try? So yeah, si Manpreet is the one who's more or less given us the idea. So it's going to be a part of our bucket list, no? Ito, team. Si Bea was good, si Vice Consul Bea. We had we saw each other. It's been a long time when I last was there, no, sa embassy, and it's nice to know. Although Bea is still there, pero si Ren, about si Conjan Ren, has been there for the past 3 years na yata. 3 years na nga ba?
Yes,
hindi ko na masyadong napansin na sa background, pati nag-pandemic na, no? So
I think, yeah,
it's been a long time. It's nice seeing
very, very hindi lang po ako yung may feedback nito. My team members have also commended kung gaano ka-organize yung embassy natin in sorting it out. Obviously within post clients yung mga pumunta kasi not very confidentiality, but it was so organized na tama lang yung kumbaga maganda yung flow nung araw. So thank you so much, Vice Consul Bea.
Thank you, Bea. Vice Consul Bea.
Exactly, Conjan Ren, and everyone else, yung mga embassy officials na napakabait. May si Kuya na who keeps bringing us food and coffee and water. We're naramdaman din talaga ng teammates, ng mga team members ko na yung hospitality nating Pilipino na hindi ka magugutom, hindi ka mauuhaw.
Oh,
At
that's
yeah,
good. That's
you're
good. No?
well
Yung
looked after. You were well looked after. So thank you.
Uy,
Tita Cora.
yung ating
Si
ano,
Tita Cora, kahangout namin eh. Kahangout namin.
really?
Nung
Oo,
lunch.
si Ma'am Cora. Ma'am Cora, naku, mabuhay ka.
Sinama namin
We,
sila sa lunch. Sila ni
oo.
Tita Evelyn, sinama namin sila sa lunch and that was very, very good.
Wow,
It's
wow,
good
wow,
fun.
wow. Ayan,
Tita
imagine mo yan.
Evelyn, hindi ko alam. Hindi ko
Ima-
sasabihin yung edad niya kasi
Oo.
pero my God lang, ang galing na I'm very well impressed, Tita
Oo nga,
Tita.
mabuhay.
Very
Si Edgardo, yan, ito, si Edgardo, grabe talaga. No? Edgardo, mabuhay ka.
Edgardo, maraming
We
salamat
we
sa
love you, ha?
pasalubong.
Oo nga.
Napakabuti at napakasarap ng pasalubong niya.
Mahusay yan. Si Edgardo, we love you. Napakahusay, napakahusay. And he loves his mom. Oy, malapit na ka pala Mother's Day, attorney. No? Parang somebody was mentioning, who was mentioning it to me?
Ano nga ba? Naguguluhan na ako. Mother's Day dito.
Magkaiba yata, attorney, magkaiba Pilipinas, magkaiba
Magkaiba,
dito,
no?
tsaka sa Pilipinas, no? Pero somebody was mentioning to me, I don't know who it was, na Mother's Day, I think, I don't know if it's gonna be a few days from now, no? Okay, pabati tayo. Sige, attorney, we play a little game. Alam mo na kung sino yung unang babate, parang bragging rights lang nila yan, no? Pero syempre, it's fun. Okay, take it away, Direk. Okay, so it could be on YouTube, it could be on Facebook. Ayan. Kung sino unang bumate. Attorney, sino? Sige. Walang daya, ha? Hindi ka nang daya, ha? Walang daya, walang silipan.
Marian Galicia Paner. Kasi last week ata si Oliver Fernandez.
Si Oliver ba last week? O, sige. Tingnan natin.
Wala sa
Okay.
top 3 last week.
Tingnan natin. Okay. Ayan na. Alright. Okay. Dapat meron tayong direct na yehey. Gano'n, meron tayong parang soundbite na, no? Okay, so tama ka. Attorney, sige, go ahead, please.
Sabi ni Marian Galicia Paner, hello po kuya Sonny, Attorney Dana, at sa lahat, happy Tuesday po and stay safe and God bless po. Thank you, Marian. Ako, tumama din tayo, Marian.
Marian, nga, well, congratulations. At least nahulaan ka ni attorney, no? So, Marian, are you London-based? Sayang, sana you were there sana nung Saturday. Nagkakita-kita sana tayo, no? Nakita mo si attorney. And but anyway, we're gonna be having some future get-togethers naman, no? So walang problema. Okay lang yan. Pero it's nice to have seen you at least, no? Oo. Sige. So
tayo sa bundok, Mr. Laragan, yun ba yung get-together natin? Aakit ba tayo sa bundok?
I guess so. We have to. Alam mo, in fact, napapahiya ako kay Emeline, no? Dahil siya at her age, nakakatakbo pa siya ng fun runs, mga run 5K, mga 5K yata. Ako hindi ko pa kaya yan, no? So kudos, no? Saludo tayo sa kanya. So yan, tama ka, akyat tayo. Kailangan mag-prepare ako because makapapahiya ako kay Emeline, no? Okidoki. All right, sige. Sino ang pangalawa sa palagay mo? So okay ka sa first hula natin? O hula mo, I should say.
Ito ko si Oliver Fernandez.
Oliver Fernandez. Okay, sige. Tignan natin. Sige. Oh! Okay. So, 2 for 2, ha? Okay.
Yes.
Ang galing naman.
Good morning po, Attorney Donna, Kuya Sonny, and Direk Pao. It's a cloudy day in Everett, Washington. Did 3.8 kilometers run today at the gym. I'm officially 52 years young today. Ako, happy birthday. Ayan, chilling daw siya with one of our favorite UK program, Legal Advice Corner. Meron ba tayong dyan, Direk Pao? Yung
Kompleto. Happy birthday to you. Oliver, yan, oh. Happy birthday, Oliver. So you're now 52. Yeah, batang-bata pa. Ako, hindi pa tayo nag-usap. Siguro mamaya pagkatapos ko ng show at nasa bahay ka, wala ka namang work, let's have a quick chat, no? Let's have a quick chat. So, magkaibigan na ba tayo? Tinanggap mo na ba yung invitation ko? O tinanggap ko na invitation mo? Sige, Oliver, thank you very much, ha? Dito, attorney kayo, dyan ba sa Bedford? Were you cloudy this morning and afternoon? Sunny
Hindi
sa
po.
London.
Ano po kami kanina? It was quite cloudy na ata towards the end of the day. Pero maaga ako pumapasok. I've been in the office since 7 o'clock in the morning. So,
Okay, so
yeah.
7 o'clock, was it really sunny na? Dito kasi sa London, very sunny na.
7 o'clock
At
was
7
sunny.
o'clock, very sunny na. Tuloy-tuloy na until the rest of the afternoon.
Because I
So,
remember saying to myself, spring na, no? Talagang sinabi ko, kasi
yes.
malalaman mo, at 7 o'clock, minsan malamig talaga. But earlier, I remember mild na mild, and nung lunch break, it was quite good, ha? It was warm, and it wasn't cloudy at all. So, nakakatawa kasi ano na ba mid-March officially.
Mid-March.
Spring na. A lot of people paborito yung spring eh. At mag-change na naman ang ating
Oh,
clock.
yeah. Yung oras.
Ating oras. Kailan ba yan? End of the month ata.
Bale, spring forward yan. Spring forward. So, which means, sa Pilipinas tayo, we will have 7 hours na, no? Time difference
7
natin.
hours na lang.
Oh, 7 hours na. Ayan, so, at saka haba na yung araw, yung hanggang sa summertime, alas 10 ng gabi eh.
Ito na naman, mahirap na naman matulog.
Mahirap naman, may araw pa, alas 10 na ng gabi, naglalaro pa yung mga bata ng football o ano ginagawa nila, no? Dahil hindi pa, parang ka magdi-dinner na alas 10 ng gabi, parang liwanag pa eh, no? Parang, so, yeah, but it's nice, at least, it's the seasons that makes life in the UK interesting because you go through the seasons, no? So, yeah, good. It's springtime na ho, and it's double digits na yung ating temperature. Di ba? Double digits na temperature natin sa mga 10, 14, ganyan, 12. Okay. Sige. So, two ano ka na?
Yeah.
Sige, two guesses correct ka na. Sige, sino pangatlo natin? Katumaan lang.
Sa tingin ko si Rudy Librojo.
Rudy Librojo. Correct. Tingnan natin. Rudy Librojo nga ba? Yeah, sige. Emmeline Rafael. Oo, pero
Tita Emmeline. Okay lang yan. Tita Emmeline.
bibihira siyang pumasok ng biro mo one of the first. Wow.
Napakaganda. She's very energetic. At mataas talagang energy. Talagang
In fact, balik mo nga yun, direct yung picture. Parang hindi kayo nagkakalayo ng edad.
Oo nga, parang lamang lang si Tita Emily mga 2 taon sa akin.
Yeah. Parang no? Look at her, very youngish looking, Very youngish looking. So, it's nice.
Kami dyan, no?
Yeah. Very young. Ayan, no? Look at that, no? And
Very
very
good.
petite, no? Sino ba mas matangkad sa inyong dalawa? mas matangkad ka naman sa kanya, di ba?
Napansin ko, naka-heels lang ako nun eh. So,
Alright. Very petite siya eh. Very petite. Kasi when I first saw her, nung una ko siyang masilayan yung kanyang kagandahan, madilim. Madilim nung una kami magkita, mag-date ni Emmeline. Madilim. Nakita kami kasi we some papers we have to nakakatuwa.
Yeah.
Nakapajama pa siya nung nakita pa kami. Winter time ba o springtime? Di ba? Nakapajama pa siya. So mabuhay, what's nice seeing you.
Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Donna, and everyone. Happy Tuesday to you all. Happy Tuesday, Tita Emily. And it's
Happy
so
Tuesday.
Great. Talagang
Happy
natuwa
Tuesday.
po kami lahat sa inyo at ni Tita Cora na nag-hangout sa amin during the lunch break. We're so pleased to have you. Nakakatawa kayo.
Galing. Yan ang ating mga friends talaga. Yeah, we love this two teenage ladies na. Buhay kayo. Ayan, si Ma'am Cora and we love you. Okay, sige. Next. Si Mary Rose Ronda. Okay.
Friend ko na yan sa Facebook din eh. Good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Donna. Have a nice Tuesday and may God bless us always. May God bless us always kasi medyo magulo nga ang mundo ngayon. Kaya sana
God bless. Yes, Mary Rose.
vibes lang at God bless sa lahat. Yan.
Alright.
Edgar Duway ba yan? Edgar Duway says, magandang gabi. Happy Dagdag Kaalaman Day sa inyong lahat. Hi, Attorney DQ, legendary Slim SL, and awesome talented direct PPRP sa aking ginagalang na ka-SRB. Kapit lang po sa Panginoon. Nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you all as well. Nakakatuwa si
Yes.
Edgar.
Si Edgar ba is celebrating his birthday soon? Ano bang
September ka ata, Ed, di ba?
Ed, September ba?
September
Birthday.
ata.
Okay.
Ata
September
si
pa. September pa.
Oo. Tama ba, Ed? Yeah.
Ikaw, alam namin, December, end of December.
December.
Okay. O, sige. Sino susunod?
Si
Sino yung
Rachel Catuisa Bautista. Good evening, Attorney Donna and Sir Sonny. Have a blessed Tuesday and keep safe, everyone. Yun yan. Keep safe.
Oh,
Keep
yan.
safe talaga tayo.
Okay, alright. Keep safe din, ha, Rachel? Ito yung hunuhula mo, kala mo siya pangatlo. O, ito na si Rudy, pang-walo, pang-pito, ganyan. O.
Ito ata, ayan.
Rudy,
Magandang gabi ng masayang Tuesday Total Beauty Package, Attorney Donna, mga talented and always good-looking guys, Sir Sonny and Sir Edgar, and lovely Direct Paula and all viewers from Team Lebrojon. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mabuhay, Rudy, ha? Mabuhay. Sana matuloy.
Keep safe dyan.
Sana matuloy ako. Sana makapunta tayo ng Northern Ireland sa Belfast, no, Attorney?
Hindi pa po ako nakakapunta doon. Hindi
Hindi ka pa nakapunta? I'd like to go there again, pero we were planning. Sana hopefully just a quick weekend lang. Magsimula siguro ng Dublin or magsimula ng Belfast, and in either way, no? Oh, punta tayo.
That's right.
That's
Punta
the home
tayo.
of the Titanic. Home of Titanic yan. That was where the Titanic was built. And that's also the home then for some of the shoots of the Game of Thrones. Even the Queen herself, diba? Even the Queen herself had to go there to see the parang meron silang para silang merong ano pa pangalan nito? Have you been to the Warner Brothers dito, Attorney, yung sa diyan sa may Warner Brothers dito na
Elstree and Bournemouth.
sa Watford.
Watford
area.
or Watford. Elstree and Bournemouth or Watford ba yun? Sa Watford po ba? Yeah.
Watford yata yung parang merong yung Harry Potter something na
Hindi po
parang hindi ba parang ganoon sa may sa may Belfast yung sa Game of Thrones naman, no? Diyan sinundan natin yung. Were you able to watch the Game of Thrones? Nasundan mo ba lahat?
Hindi po, yun lang. Hindi ako, hindi ko nasundan yan.
Okay. Nako, from start to finish, talagang nag-marathon kami ni Sol dyan, no? So, yeah. Ilang seasons ba yan? Tagal nun, no? Ilang seasons ba? Yata. So, yeah, we enjoyed it, no? And lately, ano ba pinapanood mo sa Netflix? What have you been seeing lately? We saw this
Weekend lang ako. Weekend lang ako nakakapanood ngayon.
Ano latest na napanood mo, Attorney?
Latest na napanood ko.
Kami, we saw this yung series na A Call from the Wild ba? O Coming in from the Wild, in from the Cold yata?
Oh, no, I think I know that.
In from the Cold. Parang she was a former Russian spy who's now living, say, in the States. And then ganun yung In from the Cold.
Si John Le Carre ba yung nag-write ng Yun ba yung the same?
Hindi, iba si John Le Carre wrote the Spy Who Came In From the Cold yata yan.
From the Cold, yeah.
Yata, parang something like that.
John Le Carre.
John Le Carre yun. But this is a new series. New series ngayon sa Netflix. And Okay. Well, sino pagbati pa natin? Ito, sige, Attorney, pabasa lang.
Analu Antipresto, who we've seen as well Saturday. Nako. So, good evening po, Attorney Donna and Kuya Sonny, Kuya Edgar, Nanay Emeline, and to everyone, happy Tuesday po sa lahat. Happy Tuesday, Analu. Nako, salamat sa pagbisita at pagsuporta last Saturday.
Ayan, a very petite and very beautiful, napakaganda
very beautiful and very warm. Alam mo yun na nakakatuwa. Very warm. Napaka-warm ng lahat ng tao. Marian is saying, I'm sorry po, hindi ako nakapunta, not well po ako at that. I'm sorry, Marian. I hope you feel well.
Okay. Well, pagaling ka, Marian, no? Baka diet, breathing exercises, di ba? Para makaiwas tayo sa mga gamot kasi lalo na antibiotics. Alam mo ba, Attorney, yung mga antibiotics, pag ininom mo yan, baka masira yung mga good bacteria natin sa tiyan natin, di ba? Minsan baka mapatay nila permanently, yung mga iba yan, di ba? Kasi kailangan talaga healthy yung ating gut, yung ating tiyan, di ba? So, yeah.
Sa atin sa, talking about antibiotics, di ba sa atin sa Pilipinas, pwede kang bumili kahit wala akong prescription, pero dito, sobrang, hindi ka talaga makakakuha.
In fact, parang hindi pa nga sila nagbibigay kasi yung mga nurses na mga kaibigan natin, di ba, working na sila rito and they notice, minsan pag may sakit sila antibiotics sa Pilipinas kaagad, no, dito parang very seldom, very difficult to be prescribed antibiotics, no. So
right.
Tama rin. It kills some of the mga bacteria or germs or whatever it is, but on the other hand, it gets to kill also the good germs doon sa inyong tiyan, no? So, as much as possible, ganun. Maiwasan natin yan. Okay, Rosemary Guban. Rosemary, go. Yeah, go. Sige.
Guban says, good evening, Attorney Donna and Sir Sonny. At sa lahat, happy Tuesday po. Happy Tuesday, Rosemary.
Happy Tuesday. Oh, nabasa mo ba si Edgardo? May message si Edgardo. Nabasa mo na ba? Di pa?
Hindi pa po.
Oh, okay. That was before it. Sige, okay.
Ay, hindi ko pa ba? Yan! Good Tuesday evening to Mr. Laragan, Attorney Donna, Direct Pao, to the viewers. Nice to see the Barkads last Saturday. Attorney Donna seems Supergirl. She never gets tired and will welcome with open arms no matter who you are. Kudos to your team as well.
Sweet words naman sa'yo, ha? Ang ganda naman, ng puso naman yung message ni Edgardo. Ikaw din, Edgardo, you were so sweet and loving to everybody. And it was nice kasi parang it's like seeing real dear friends. Maganda ang dating mo talaga, Edgardo. Para tayong may fraternity o sorority o samahan talaga na that we've been together for a long time. Although we don't get to see each other, pero parang seeing you for the first time, no? Yung kanyang yung brightness, yung parang di ba? Yung kanyang mausay, ano siya. Sabi niya, kausapin ko yung mga kasamahan mo nga, 'di ba? Kasi minsan napapakwento kami sa nagkakakumustahan. So, he was really nice, talagang very very nice talaga.
Very
warm,
nice.
friendly, very
warm.
friendly. So,
nakakatawa. At napakasarap nung iniwan niyang pasalubong. Inaaraw-araw ko ng kain. At di ko pa siya
ito ba yung pasalubong niya na yung artisan?
Opo, napakasarap. My God, napakasarap. Talagang kung saan mo man yung binili, salamat. Salamat dun sa bakery.
Hindi, we were so proud. Sabi nga, galing yung art, mabuhay talaga. That was great.
Edgardo, thank you so much. It was such a good, nakakatuwang makakita ng mga, parang old friends, pero
yes.
Hindi pa pala tayo nagkita before no? Hindi talaga tayo nag-meet. Except for Mr. Sonny Laragan and Sol. Talagang first time, pero parang kilala mo na sila ng matagal na.
Yeah.
Dalawang taon na actually.
Yes, Edgardo, thank you. Thank you talaga. Thank you. And to everybody who were there. We will get to see each other again next time, no? Na mas maganda ang opportunity, mas maganda ang panahon. Mas maganda siguro we can also have a get together palabas, no, yung mga mga trip natin, mga get together, so that would be great. Ikaw ang aming sentro, ikaw nakasentro kay sayo, attorney.
Di naman.
ikaw ang
lahat tayo is such a natural na connection sa lahat ng everyone just I think lahat tayo naghahanap lang ng positive na sa panahon ngayon. Medyo magulo ang mundo. It's such nice to find a day na may araw. Saturday was very good. And mga tao na genuinely mabuti. They're very nice. Kayo po, Tita Emmeline. It's very, very good to just have a good day, I think. Kumpara sa mga natin sa news ngayon. So it's always a good day.
Nice to see. It was so if you could have more, if there are more clinics or more opportunities, it could be a clinic, it could be a get together. Maganda kung magkakita-kita ulit, no? Edgar Duway, sabi niya, ano yan? Okay.
Tukayo, tinatawag niya si Tukayo niya si Edgar.
Nice to meet you, bro. Nagkaabot ba kayo? Nagkaabot yata silang dalawa. Oo, kasi galing sila Edgar from something in Oxford ba? Oxford or Cambridge, hindi ko matandaan. So nagkita yata. Oo. Ano lang ito pwesto?
Very grateful. Nakita ko po kayo personally, Attorney Donna, Kuya Sonny, Kuya Edgar, and others. Yes, very grateful.
Likewise.
Hallelujah.
Oh, nakita ko,
Para
sabi ko, ang
talagang
ganda naman ng ni Annalou, 'di ba? Very petite, tapos ang cute-cute niya. And may kasama siya mga friends yata, mga tatlo,
kasama niya yung
apat
friends niya.
yata.
Yeah, kasama
Oo,
niya yung mga
oo.
friends
So,
niya. Yeah.
mabuhay Annalou, ah. It's nice to see you doon sa ating get together na yung event ni no ni attorney, yung kanyang legal clinic sa embassy, at sikat pa, social embassy pa. Doon sa taas ba doon? Teka muna, may tao ba sa taas? Kasi yung sa taas doon, if you go up that, attorney, that will be the office of the Department of Tourism. May tao ba doon?
Ganun po ba? Ay, hindi ko
Oo.
po alam.
Sila
Hindi
Jerry.
po ako.
Kilala mo ba si Jerry? Si Jerry, ano ba, sino ba head? Si Jerry Panga? Kilala mo si Jerry Panga?
Panga. I heard of Mr. Panga. I've
Oo,
heard good things.
oo.
Good things.
Oo,
Good things
Panga.
about
Oo.
Mr. Panga.
Oo. But they
Parang,
pronounce it Panga. He wants it
Panga
pronounced as
po ba?
Panga.
Panga.
Although you read it
Panga.
Panga, pero it's Panga. No? Jerry
Panga
Panga.
pala. Sorry,
Yes.
sir. Sorry, Sir Jer.
Nasa taas yan.
Mali yung pronunciation.
Nasa
Yeah,
taas
hindi
yan.
ko po alam kasi hindi ko po siguro ang daming nakafocus dun sa legal clinic yung
Oo nga, oo. So,
I've not seen anyone else dun sa taas, although may mga embassy officials na andon during the day. I don't know kung bukas sila yung ibang offices.
hindi, for ano yata yan four doors yan First door is yung consular, and then the second door will be where the ambassador is, and kung saan nandun si Conjen Ren, no? And then the third one is yung kung saan tayo. May
Centro
fourth door yun.
Rosalia.
Andun ang opisina ng SSS sa dulo.
Okay,
Oo.
okay.
So, yun ang nun. It's nice, no? Na it's been a long time nang huling mapunta ako sa embassy, no?
Ako din.
So, nakakatuwa. And I'm proud of you because it happened to Pinoy Radio UK back in when they had the UK Philippine UK Friendship Day, and ang ginawa nilang highlight yung Pinoy Radio UK that time. So, and the ambassador then was Ambassador Ricky Manalo, no? At
Si Enrique Manalo.
oo, si Ricky
Ambassador Enrique Manalo pala.
Enrique
Oo.
Manalo, si Ambassador Enrique Manalo. And ang MC noon, si Peps Villanueva.
Si Tito
Siya
Peps. Hi,
nag-Peps
Tito
ng ating
Peps.
event. Peps, good evening. Ay, magkasama kami the other day. Kahapon nakita kami, no? Nakita kami. So, mabuhay Peps. Okay, ano tong MGP?
Marian Galicia Panere. I figured
okay.
Tinignan ko din ng matagal eh. Sabi ko, sino nga ba yun? MGP. Marian Galicia Panere. Sayang wala ka. Ang saya namin. Nangingit pa si Ed eh.
Ayan, oo. Sino tong happy birthday?
Si Oliver po. Birthday po ni Oliver Fernandez.
Oo nga, happy birthday, Oliver. Di ba? March 27.
27 ang Mother's Day. Matagal pa.
Okay. End of the month, Okay. Si Oliver Fernandez, mga kaibigan, yung ating very good friend from Everett in Washington State, no? He's celebrating his birthday today, 52 years old. Wow.
Young, very, very young. Happy
Wow,
birthday,
wow.
Oliver.
Happy birthday. Okay, happy birthday.
Oli, cute naman.
Happy birthday,
Nickname
Oliver.
basis na pala tayo dito. Ayun. Happy
Oli ba ang
Oliver.
nickname niya? Oli, happy birthday,
Oli
sabi niya. Happy birthday, Oliver,
Ayun,
sabi ni
ayun,
Emily
ha.
Rafael.
Ayan, Oliver. Ginigreet ka ng lahat ng mga ka-SRP. Ayan, happy birthday. Show the best and always
Okay,
good
good.
health.
Pero kung nandito lang sa UK yan, malayo, mamamasahe pa yan, no? Para yung legal clinic, no? Pero kung nandito lang sa Pilipinas, sa UK yan, he will be with us, and that will be wonderful seeing Oliver in person. So, seeing everybody in person. So, mabuhay. Okay.
Ayan, si Cheltenham pala.
Oo nga pala. Yeah, Cheltenham, kasi sinasabi niya,
Sorry, parati mo
nabanggit
sinasabi
niya,
na si Cheltenham.
itong week na to may karera sa Cheltenham itong week na to.
Cheltenham races, yeah.
Cheltenham
that's
races.
right.
Oo. So, yeah. Edgar Duway, okay. Sige, bilisan natin yan, direct. Nanay Emily Rafael, kamukha. Yan.
Kamukha mo nanay ko, kaya nanay na din tawag.
Wow. Kaya pala sabi nila, sabi nga ni Irene, tama nga, kamukha daw, no?
Yan, September nga.
September nga, tama si attorney.
Yan.
Ayan. Ano to? Cheers, everyone. Looking forward to it, Kuya Sunny. Talking about the forthcoming spring gives me the heebie-jeebies. Ano yan?
May fever.
Fever. Seasons. Wow. Ako
Pareho tayo, Oliver. May hay fever din ako.
Meron ka rin direct? Attorney? Direct si attorney, meron ka? Wow,
Pero dito lang po. po. Sa UK lang po
I know.
ako.
Oo.
It's very strange. Wala naman ako fever.
Ayun nga, I'm praying na hindi ako magkatamaan ng ganyan dahil nga, I know of some friends na who are, di naman sila nagkaroon ng hay fever. Dahil mga Pinoy nga, pagdating dito, nagkaroon ng hay fever, no?
Yeah, isa po ako doon.
Oo, ikaw rin.
Ayan. Edgardo Cagacian Enrique says, I think kay Edgar to, I'm good to Kayo. Thanks. Nice to meet you as well. When I saw you, I know it's you to Kayo waiting at the other door. Sorry, nag-chat na kami ni Tokayo here. Okay lang.
Tokayo yan. Okay, si
Walang
Tokayo. Sige.
problema.
Sige, pasok natin direct. Yeah, pasok natin yan para ano.
Si
si
Tita
Cora.
Cora! Dito na! Hello to all, Sir Sonny, Attorney Dana, and all. It was really a nice day last Saturday with Edgar and First Lady.
Mabuhay. Nice
Tita
seeing
Cora, it
you.
was so good to be with you, Tita Cora.
Yes.
Napakaganda,
Uy.
napaka-warm ni Tita Cora. And she sat with us, when, during...
Oo. Pinakita ba niya yung picture niya nung nasa elementary, meron siyang class niya, tapos sa mga students. Oh, yeah. Kita-kita, batang-bata si Ma'am Cora noon, ha?
It was nice
Imagine
to
mo
see
yun, no?
Tita Cora saying, nakaka-proud si Tita Cora. It's very nice to see
Very
her.
young teacher noon sa Notre Dame, sa Greater Manila.
Yeah, Notre Dame
Oo.
yan. Notre
Damer.
Dame and then Damer.
Okay. Sino to? Kuya Sunny, kailan pa ba ang balik ng embassy natin? Inaayos namin. Sige, ayusin namin. Hopefully, it's gonna come back soon, no? Sana na kagad. No, we'll finalizing it. So, yeah, hindi lang 'yon. We might come up with something else, no? Well, dapat pala hindi natin sinasabi, no? Later on na siguro. Okay. All right. Direct ano ba tayo? Okay. So, magbe-break muna tayo. So, ang pagbalik ho natin, may topic ho tayo na i-discuss si attorney, and this is very important, no? Claims under inheritance, no? Malaking bagay ito. It's ako ready na ako. I'll take some notes because
Take some notes, yes.
Importante.
Yeah.
1975 claims, so hindi pa na-update to, attorney, o updated na yan?
Hindi pa po. Yan pa rin ang, when we say Inheritance Act 1975, it's just that particular piece of legislation. Yan yung batas na nagsasabi kung ano yung pwedeng mag-claim under that act. But in very, very short summary, ito po yun. May mga senaryo na kahit wala ka sa will, ay pwede kang mag-claim. And this is exactly what these claims are about. So, lawyers, and hindi namin but hindi namin sinabi na you can potentially claim kahit wala ka sa will. Ang proper na term niyan under the legal legal industry is claims under Inheritance Act. Ang longer name niya is Provision for Dependents 1975. So may hint na yung full title ng batas kung sino ang pwedeng mag-claim kahit wala ka sa will.
Wala ka sa will. So yeah, Provision for Dependents. Ako, malaking bagay ito. So yung mga nanonood ho at ganyan ang nangyari ho sa inyo, malaking bagay ho ito para mapagkunan nyo ng idea, no? Kung sakasakaling mangyari sa inyo or sa inyong mga kaibigan o mahal sa buhay. Okay, we're gonna have a short break, and when we come back, no, mga kaibigan, wag ko kayong aalis at didiscuss natin itong Provision for Dependents, no, or Claims under Inheritance Act 1975. Wag ko kayong aalis, saglit po lamang.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Stilettos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mala, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS, harassment, o baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo. Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, balik ho tayo sa ating programa. Happy Tuesday ho. Ito ho ang Legal Advice Corner. Ako po si Sonny Laragan. For those who tuned in just now, nasa second part na ho tayo ng ating program. Siyempre, kasama natin yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada, no? Ang abogada ng bayan, no? Dito po sa United Kingdom, walang iba kundi si Attorney DANNA Quinto. Attorney, happy Tuesday once again.
Happy Tuesday, Mr. Larangan, and sa lahat ng ating mga SRB Ben, Social Remote Bubble, according to Edgar Duay. So, yeah, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Tuloy po kayo. Tuesday na naman. Ito na
Yes, Tuesday na naman.
Tayo. Ready na ba ang papel mo, Mr. Larangan?
Yes, ready. Ito nga, yung sinabi mo, provision for dependents pala ang tawag doon, no? Kasi pagka wala ka sa will. Okay, Attorney, take it away. Sige, take it away.
Yes, as Mr. Laragan said, and as I said earlier, may mga sitwasyon na wala ka sa will. But actually, under English law, you still could potentially claim under this law. Inheritance, Provision for Dependents, yun ang full name niya, Act 1975. So these are the situations where hindi ka nabigyan, ito yung magic word, reasonable financial provision under the will, and kung pasok ka dun sa mga category na sinabi ng batas na yan. So, who can make a claim under this act? Sino ba tong mga nakalimutan or hindi nasama na potentially pwede pa ring mag-claim kahit wala sila sa will? Number one is spouse or civil partners, or those who have been treated as a spouse. Number two, children, minors man or adult. I will explain that later. Number three, former spouse or civil partners. So mga ex nyo, pwede pa rin. Unless obviously may clean break order kayo sa divorce. And ito yung last two na parating nagiging most likely party ng litigation. I think we're number four. Someone who was continually cohabiting with who had continually cohabited with the deceased 2 years for 2 years preceding the death of the deceased. So yung kasama na ka-cohabit niya, ka-live-in niya or kasama niya for the last 2 years before the death. And then the last one is someone who was financially maintained by the deceased o nung namatay. So yun ang mga categories ng mga potential claimants dito sa Inheritance Provision for Dependents Act 1975. Now, ang tanong dito ng batas, very over sort of a simplified version. Nung unang tatanungin ng korte is, objectively ba may reasonable provision ba tong claimant na to? And if so, anong provision, anong financial provision ang pwedeng ma-award ng korte? The interesting bit about this law is iba yung treatment niya sa standards na ibibigay niya. Kumbaga kung may category na walang limit ang mabibigay. And that is, kung spouse ka nang namatay or treated as a spouse of the deceased, ang reasonable provision mo ay hindi limited sa maintenance lang. And I will define maintenance later on. Ang karamihan kasi sa mga, for some reason sometimes, and I've dealt with a case na hindi binigyan talaga yung kalahati ng half ng asawa. You know, they own the home jointly. Hindi automatically nag-pass yung bahay dun sa kabilang sa husband by death. So 50% pa rin nun dun sa namatay at hindi niya binigyan yung asawa niya. And that could yung asawa nag-claim under Inheritance Act 1975 dahil sabi niya anong gagawin ko? Alam nga naman ibenta yung bahay na ako mismo ang, you know, I looked after the home, you know, paid for the mortgage and all of that reason. So in that case, normally limited lang by maintenance kung ano yung allowance and pang-maintain dun sa lifestyle or not necessarily lifestyle but pang-maintain dun sa naiwan. But dito, not necessarily. And sometimes they would get these spouses, most of the time, the provision is kung ano yung makukuha nila sa divorce. So that's quite interesting. That's a bit of a legal complexity. Pero ito na lang yung tandaan nyo. Pag ikaw yung asawa at wala ka dun sa will, walang limit yung claim mo. So think about that and remember that. Any other claimants, kung anak ka sa labas na minimaintain ka, and then biglang wala ka dun sa will, you could potentially claim for reasonable maintenance. So yun yung magic word. The reason why I said anak ka sa labas, ang root talaga ng act na to, why it was established, bakit ito ginawa ng parliament, is that because minsan nahihiya yung namatay or when they were alive na ilagay yung mga kumbaga either secret affairs or illegitimate children dun sa will nila. And that's the reason why the court intervened and said, well, maintain mo yung taon to. You assumed responsibilities for these people, whether it was a partner, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or extramarital affair, or an illegitimate child. The court says if you did that, and if you've shown that you've assumed the responsibility for that person, then that person can potentially carry on having that expectation kahit patay ka na, and they can claim against your estate. So that's the reason, that's the background of this Inheritance Act 1975. Yung maintenance, tinatanong kami ng client namin, ano may maintenance? Anong maintenance na kaya ba kung paano kung milyonaryo yung namatay? We'll talk about that later, kung ano yung level ng financial provision. But maintenance on itself, ang definition ng court, or reasonable maintenance, yun yung magic word, reasonable maintenance. Ito lang yung binigay na definition ng court. It's neither luxurious nor poverty-stricken. So, nasa gitna lang. Nasa gitna lang. Sakto lang, kumbaga. Now, ano pa yung pwede i-award? So, depende, obviously, sa size ng estate. But the court, and depende din sa claimant, but the court can award a capital sum. The court can award an income. By capital sum, isang buong lump sum. By income, it means a monthly sum. amount settled on trust, and so on and so forth. It depends on the particular situation, but it's not so limited na isang cash lang or income lang. The court can look at the situation and see what's appropriate for that case. And it can only be made from the net estate. Matapos mabayaran na yung mga taxes at liabilities ng estate. When we say estate, ang meaning po niyan is yung lahat na ari-arian ng namatay. So whether or not it's property, cash, savings, bond, insurance money. So if you're the executor of the estate, ang trabaho niyo po itali kung ano man yung kompletong listahan ng property, and you need to gather all of that and distribute that according to the will, or depende kung may challenge yung estate from a claimant under the Inheritance Act 1975. If the law tells you, kailangan mong bigyan to, and you need to distribute that according to this order, then you have to do so. Now, ang importante dito tingnan, so yun ang una, kung potential claimant ka, paano ba to? Paano titingnan ng korte yung kaso yan? So just to show you, kasi pinarint ko siya, this is what actually a statutory instrument. When we say statutory instrument, ito yung batas sa UK. So that's the seal, and that's the name of the Act, Inheritance Provision for Family and Dependents Act 1975. And this is Section 3. Section 3 lists all of the factors that needs to be considered kung pasado ka as a claimant, kung pasado ang claim mo as a potential claimant under the Inheritance Act claim. And the factors depend on your status as a claimant. We won't go so deeply into that, but we will only go through the factors in general terms para magkaroon tayo ng idea kung paano ba to tinitingnan ng korte. So the court will look at the first instance, the financial resources and financial needs ng applicant. So kung ikaw yung claimant, ikaw yung applicant, titingnan kung ano resources mo, titingnan kung ano yung needs mo. Not so resources as well as needs. Now, minsan, merong iba pang claimant. So baka may iba pang anak sa labas na minimaintain din. So titingnan din ang financial resources nila and financial needs nila. As well as kung sino man yung named beneficiary. So in this sample case, baka naman may legitimate children. So andun sila sa will. So titingnan din yung financial resources nila and financial needs nila. Next is titingnan yung obligation ng obligations of the deceased. So titingnan if it was a father who passed away at may mga anak siya sa labas, and he promised to pay for college, to pay for accommodation. So titingnan kung ano yung nature ng relationship, ano yung background ng relationship, and ano yung mga nature of obligations that stems from that role. Next, most importantly, titingnan yung size and nature of the estate. So are we looking at a normal bahay sa UK worth 250, 350, could potentially be 400 to 600,000 pounds. Depende kung may utang or may additional pa, may utang sa bangko or may other liabilities pa. And depende kung may mga other properties or cash savings pa. So are we looking at 200,000 pounds estate, 300,000, 400,000, or 2 or 3 million? What are we looking at? So titingnan mo, eto pala yung mga potential kandidato para kumuha dun sa kandidato para sa share ng estate. Ito yung mga kailangan nila. Now, we're gonna look at kung gaano kalaki yung pwede natin, ano ba yung pwedeng paghati-hatian. Now, also, pwedeng tingnan din is physical and mental disability. So, for example, in this case, yung isang anak sa labas, may disability, may physical disability, and they need a special care, a special home with access, compared sa other anak na walang disability, then the court will take that into account. Now, meron pang catch-all provision dito. The court can also look at conduct. And this is quite interesting because in this situation, from my own experience, it's actually one of my favorite, I could say, in the area of law. When I was younger, this is one of the first cases na nag-assist ako sa trial. I can have seen kung paano doble yung sakit na nawalan na kayo ng mahal sa buhay, and then pangalawa pa yung sakit na nag-aaway-away yung pamilya. And then people start saying, oh, ito yung ginawa niya, ito yung conduct niya, hindi niya ginawa to X, Y, and Z. Dahil sasabihin nila, according to Section 3 of the Inheritance Provision for Family Independence Act, sabi doon, any other matter, including conduct, pwede mong erase sa korte. So, the tendency of people, pag hindi sila masaya o they're in litigation, at talagang nasa microscope yung conduct lang ng lahat ng tao. So, a lot of people would use that factor to persuade the court na mas deserving sila na claimant. Although, yan ang pinaka-siguro from my experience, yun yung pinaka-hindi gusto ng korte dahil ayaw ng korte na, kumbaga, sobrang subjective ang deliberation nila. It has to be an objective assessment of the merits of the case, depending on the circumstance of this particular case. And if you're a claimant, meron ding mga extra. If you're a spouse claimant, there's extra provisions there, extra factors, and one of those na kailangan mo lang tandaan really if you're watching this at asawa ka, at hindi ka nalagay sa will, and I'll tell you from experience of me dealing with cases, it does happen. Ang inyong provision, ang inyong standard of provision is potentially kung ano yung makukuha mo if there was a divorce in this situation. So pretty high, mas mataas ang kumbaga ang pwedeng i-award sa isang spouse. And that's really the factors where the court will balance. Walang mas mabigat na factor. It's up to the court, jurisdiction ng court to say, dito ito ang ito ang naging deliberation ko sa they have to treat all the factors equally. But there is no formula na ito mauuna or this is, it really depends on a case-to-case basis. And most of the time, that's the reason why when I say kung ikaw may a potential claim na to, this is just a guide, this is a starting point para buksan yung isip mo, just to pick up the phone and really talk to a solicitor. Not necessarily kung ayaw mo, if you don't want to talk to us, it's absolutely fine, but talk to a solicitor because each case turns on its own facts. What I'm trying to say here is napakadaming factors. I think it's 18, 14, 16 factors that the court will consider. So in order for us to give you advice dun sa merits ng case nyo, most of the time kailangan namin malaman yung buong buhay nyo at buong buhay ng pamilya nyo. And in that way, it gets very interesting because what started to be a family matter, once it becomes a litigated matter, ay ma-represent yung mga intimate details ng family dynamics. And from that point of view, some people may say, well, I don't want that. Or some people may say, well, okay lang, because I want them to know that I was hurt. I want them to know na ito ang totoong nangyari all these years. So, from my point of view, it's quite an interesting area of law. There are two important points na kumbaga legal nuance dito sa case na to. The first one is kailangan yung namatay domicile dito sa UK. So lots of these, Edgardo as an accountant will probably find this very interesting. Isa sa mga features lalo na dun sa mas malalaking estate, when you were talking about a few million pounds, a lot of them try to find a tax-friendly jurisdiction towards the end of their life or during their lifetime. At doon nagkakaroon ng ng debate ang mga abogado because some of those deceased paroon pa rito, maybe nasa Jersey sila half the time and dito sila half the time. Some of them maybe nasa Pilipinas half the time and dito half the time. But they need to be domiciled to the UK. Kumbaga dito talaga sila rooted. Dito talaga yung base nila. Because that's one of the things na depensa ng state. They will say, well, walang jurisdiction dito dahil hindi naman talaga domiciled dito yung namatay. Domicile, again, is quite a complex legal and accounting principle. So it depends on the facts of the case. It depends on kung ano talaga yung mga specifics ng buhay ng isang tao. But all you need to know is the deceased has to be domiciled in the UK in order for this particular act to apply. So that's one thing. The second thing, which is the most important thing as well, is time limit. May time limit po ito. At maiksi lang. You have 6 months from the grant of probate to make a claim or else, well, statute barred ka. There is a way to apply for an extension pero mahihirapan po kayo. It's not guaranteed. But, you have to really act fast. If you are watching this, if potentially may claim ka po, hindi mo man alam kung nag-grant of probate na sila o hindi, just call a lawyer and talk to them. Because maliit lang ang window ng claim na to. Maliit lang ang window for a lawyer to gather the evidence and see if may merits yung claim. So to summarize, sa lahat ng mga nanonood na ng mga babae natin, kung may kaibigan kayo, you've heard of them going through something similar. If they're a spouse, cohabity, maintain sila ng namatay. If they're children or child of the deceased, kahit adult man sila, former spouse or civil partners, depende kung may consent order, may clean break sila. If financially maintained sila ng namatay, they can potentially claim kahit wala sila sa will. If they are a spouse or former spouse, they are going to be treated much more favorably in terms of financial provision. All other claimants, it's only reasonable maintenance, and maintenance is sakto lang, neither luxurious, neither poverty-stricken. Provisions, hindi lang lump sum, hindi lang income. The court can be a bit creative kung ano yung pwede at kung ano yung kaya ng estate. And there are lots of factors, madaming factors. Ibabalance ng korte, titingnan ng korte, lahat kailangan tingnan ng korte, depende dun sa mga claimants. Kaya kailangan yung tumawag sa abogado to tell your story, to tell the facts of the case so they can give you a better idea as to the merits of the case. Most importantly, may time limit tayo, 6 months lang, and the deceased would have to be domiciled in the UK or more or less dito talaga yung base niya sa UK. As I've said, please do call a lawyer if this is a potential claim for you. Short time period, short lang yung window short period of time to gather evidence. So the quicker that you get advice, the better.
Okay, wow, quite interesting, no? Okay. May mga tanong-tanong lang ako, attorney. For example, so, paano yan? Ang will, for halimbawa, kasi binabanggit mo kanina, no? You were mentioning about asawa na hindi na isama sa will, for example. For example, you bought a house together. Ibig sabihin, di ba, parang conjoint yun, parang conjugal yun, pareho kayong magkahati supposedly.
That's right.
Can a spouse, one of the spouse, because estranged o galit na doon sa misis niya o galit sa mister niya, whoever, pwede ba yung share, yung one half ng, ano niya, sabi niya, if I die, one half of this house I want to give it to the cats and dogs, to RSPCA, ganyan. Pwede ba yun?
Yes, it has happened in one of the cases na hinandle ko. Let's mag-backtrack po muna tayo a couple of steps with land law.
Okay.
For a second.
Land law.
land law or conveyancing law, property law.
Okay.
When you purchase a property, tatanungin po kayo ng abogado. May option kayo. Hindi lang option kung ano yung pintura o ano yung other decoration sa property. The most importantly, your lawyer will ask you, how do you want this to be owned by? Obviously, gusto niyo dalawa kayo sa titulo. That's the usual cost. And they will ask you, do you wanna own this under joint tenancy or tenants in common? Yung joint tenancy is wala kayong exact share, but you both own it jointly, so that if one of you passes away, automatically yung share ng kabilang tao mapupunta dun sa naiwan. And most of the time, ito yung binibigay nilang, yun yung sinasabi nilang better option for married people. However, they would always give the option of tenants in common, wherein either 50-50 kayo or whatever you say, kung ano man yung hatian ninyo. Minsan kasi iba yung contribution nila, or minsan for whatever reason, they just want to have. Normally it happens kung second marriage na and they understand na 50-50 yung share nila and they want to leave their share either dun sa children nila or someone else. May ganun na usapan na nangyayari. But tenants in common is klaro na may set na shares yung dalawang tao. And if they die, they can do whatever they want with their share. So that's tenants in common. And it does happen. I've seen it happen, na tenants in common, kasi pwede mong i-convert yung joint tenancy mo into tenants in common. That happens. So if you're buying a property, or if you have a joint property, it's time to check on joint tenants kayo, automatic na mapupunta dun sa asawa nyo, o tenants in common kayo, na inyo yung 50% ng bahay, and you can give it away to whoever you want. So call your lawyers, call your conveyancing lawyer. Kung hindi nyo alam or hindi kayo sure, it's always good to know. So that's where we're at. So joint tenancy or tenants in common. And nangyayari to when tenants in common, yung dalawang mag-asawa na set yung share nila, and one spouse, yung namatay na asawa, they gave it to charity, and that's exactly what happened to one of my cases a few years ago. Binigay lahat.
So this all happens
binigay to a few people, and then sa charity, mostly sa charity. At the husband was left with only half of the house na, he invested, he paid for many years, and now it's not enough. Retired na siya, he can't buy another property. So he said, no, this is not enough, not reasonable provision for me.
In the Philippines, for example, attorney, sa property law, for example, sa Pilipinas, I took that up the third year college sa Lyceum, College of Law, no? Ang law talaga is if you have a property and you have a neighbor, for example, you want to sell your property, the first offer has to be either sa mga neighbors mo, because the reason of the law being is that hindi baka mamaya siraulo yung bagong bibili, or it might cause some problems in the community, so ganun bale. And then kung hindi sila interesado, then that's the time you can buy it, sell it outside. Dito ba, in this situation, for example, tenants in common, sabi mo nga, no? So ginawa nung isang spouse, winil niya, no? I mean, sa labas, can yung natitirang one half, can that person buy out? Or say, for example, I don't know, binigay yung will eh. How can you live in a house na kalahati, parang hindi sa'yo?
Exactly.
In a property, di ba? Paano yun? Kalahati nito, ang lalakarin ko lang yung kalahati ko sa RSPA yan, sa charity yan. Dito, bahay ko. Is there no remedy from the law na which would give eventually the surviving spouse or partner, whoever, na to be able to get by the or have the whole of it? Wala bang ganun?
Exactly. I'm going to have a longer answer to that kasi it depends on the circumstance. So scenario A, you have a spouse na yun ang isa lang sa mga bahay nila, pero marami silang mansyon, And yung isang bahay ay hinati sa charity, but meron pa silang 5 bahay. So the court will, in that instance, might say na may reasonable provision ka naman, may iba kang bahay. So kung binigay naman sa'yo yung ibang bahay, then there's no, there will be less detriment sa'yo kapag hinati mo yung isang bahay nyo. And the rest of your property asset is enough to get you a home elsewhere. That's scenario A. So, less yung niya doon, less yung claim niya na hindi siya nabigyan ng reasonable provision. Scenario B, nag-iisa lang yung bahay. Wala silang ibang bahay and binigay lang yung 50% provision doon sa charity. So, yung claim ng spouse na yon is actually not just to buy out, but to get as much, and sasabihin niya na, no, it's not enough provision for me. Kasi hindi ito enough. I can't buy a home elsewhere. So that's his main position, not just to buy it out. Although a lot of yung settlement agreement on potentially could be a buyout, but what the law gives is an opportunity for you to ask for more, rather than just to buy out, but an opportunity to buy for more. Any point in time, pwede mong i-buy out yung joint owner mo. Just so everyone knows. At any point in time, kung joint owner kayo and for some reason, one person wants to be out, you can make a buyout offer.
Oh, okay. All right. Pero kung namatay, paano 'yan? So, yun nga, like can you really get the other half ba? Yung sabi mo na wala nang titiran,
you can make a claim. You can make a claim.
You can make a claim. Well, okay.
Yeah, you can make a claim under this act.
All right. Okay. Okay. So, yung tenants for example, ang isenaryo ba rito, yung mag-asawa, nag-will yung isa na yung isa na wala yung wife niya. Ang sinasabi mo, wife or husband or whoever the spouse, sabi mo, ang basis pwedeng makakuha is if what you can get if you had a divorce. Parang ganon. So, are we talking of a property that initially was owned by one of them? For example, yung lalaki, siya may-ari, namatay, pero nag-will siya na ayaw niyang mapunta sa wife niya, no? Hindi wala sa will. Yung ba ang sinasabi mo? Ganun bang klase ng situation ba na pag wala sa will, parang you can go claim now, but it will be like in a divorce, ganun ba? Ang makukuha mo, more or less?
I think that's probably what's a better way of putting it is hindi ka restricted. Kung asawa ka, hindi restricted. Kasi kapag hindi ka asawa, maintenance lang kung ano lang yung allowance na binibigay sa'yo, medyo ganun lang ang restriction sa'yo. If asawa ka, isa sa factors, it's not a ceiling, hindi yan cap, na yun lang kung ano makukuha mo sa divorce. But, ang sinasabi ng korte is, it is one of the guide na pwede nilang gamitin, pero hindi ka cap. So, mas stronger talaga kung asawa ka at yung asawa mo, pinamigay yung kalahati ng bahay mo, you've got a pretty good case kung wala ka na talagang ibang titirhan.
Okay. A question dito, attorney. No? Sabi mo, you had a line kanina, the court can decide and, what's appropriate depends on the size of the state. When the court decides, is this on the court looking at the facts, or these are facts presented by lawyers, you as a lawyer representing, for example, a client? So, yung bang decision ng lawyer na abogado na they can decide, ika nga, these are coming from things that you as the lawyer have presented to the court, to the judge? Ganun ba 'yon? O sila ba parang tignan ko nga yung facts of the case, tapos ito ganito siguro, ito it's appropriate tong ibigay ko ganito, ganyan i-rule ko na ganito, or yan ba, does it emanate from you lawyers na talking to your clients, ano ba yung mga pwede natin habulin na ba ganito, so para isulat ko kay kay judge, ito judge, mag-decide kayo, ganun. Where does it come from? Is it upon the instigation of you guys, of lawyers like you, for example?
Yes, because a judge wouldn't be able to look at the case kung walang nag-file ng claim.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time a case reaches the judge, nakapunta na siya, naka-run through na siya ng proceedings, whole litigation proceedings, which includes disclosure of evidence, getting experts report, getting witness statements. So madami nang nadaanan yung kaso bago pumunta dun sa final hearing. And by the time the final hearing is on, meron kaming claim bundle na tinatawag, wherein the facts, that's all of the facts of the case. Not all of the facts are agreed. Kahit facts, hindi kayang i-agree ng abogado, as you know. So they will both parties, both sides will present what we call their submissions to the court. They will say to the court facts that they have agreed and facts that they haven't agreed. They will make they will make their own submissions to the court to persuade the judge to be able to establish that these facts are more likely than not true. Ito yung basis ng kanilang ng kanilang presentation. So, two things. The judge will make a determination kung ano yung facts na sa kanila mas credible. And on the basis of those facts, they will apply the section, all the section 3 factors o ano yung applicable in this particular instance. So the judge has two roles. The first one is sinong paniniwalaan niya. Mm-hmm. That's the first job. And then the second job is ano yung deliberation niya pag binasa niya yung section 3 na nilista ko dito. So when the judge looks at this, niya, okay, ito yung story na pinaniwalaan ko. And this is how I will apply this to the story. So that's facts, that's determination of facts. And then the second one is the determination of the law. And that probably for all those law students out there, LLB, LPC, GDL, that is something that they will hear over and over again when they are training to be a lawyer. So you persuade the judge to take your facts, and then you persuade the judge to take your interpretation of the law.
Okay, a spouse or cohabitee, an illegitimate child, di ba? Mga ganyan, di ba? They can claim, you are, for example, the lawyer for these people, for example. Yung deceased, sino ang represent? Who represents that? May lawyer din yan? Is it the executor? Yeah. Sino ang, so may lawyer din yon?
Exactly.
Okay. So, maski namatay na, may lawyer pa. Okay. Ang kumukuha niyan, yung executor?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Another question, attorney. Sabi mo, check, I don't know, in context yung sinabi, check the financial resources of the illegitimate children or child. If the illegitimate
it's not the legitimate children. It was just a sample case. I think
example.
The correct factors there is the financial resources and needs of the applicant, financial resources and needs of any other applicant, and then the third one is financial resources and needs of the named beneficiary in the will.
Okay. Kung if they need something, then okay lang. Pero kung maganda ang financial resources, can they go claim after the, kunyari, maganda naman ang, may yung mga illegitimate child, whoever is, no? Or maganda, may magandang bahay, lahat, no? Can they still go after? Will the judge will the executor say, wag na ho natin, excluded na ho yan, judge, dahil yan, maganda ang buhay niya, no? Maganda ang financial resources niyan. Can they be excluded?
I think the lawyerly way of saying that is, yes, potentially they can be a claimant, but when you apply the Section 3 factors, it is likely than not that their claim will fail because of the fact that their financial needs are clearly met and they, met with their own resources compared to the other beneficiaries or compared to the other claimants. I think that's a more lawyerly way of answering that question. So potential claimants sila, pero pag in-apply mo, you can't completely exclude them. I think as lawyers would say, it would be unfair to say excluded sila straight away. So dalawa kasi yung test potential claimant sila, okay, maybe maintain sila ng tatay nila, ng namatay, maintain sila. But if you apply the factors, mas hindi na ganun ka strong yung claim nila because of the fact that, they on their own is very well off.
you attorney kayo, like for example, you can represent both the claimant and the ano no, yung deceased.
Not at the same time. Not at the
No,
same
no,
time.
pero
But,
ano, I mean separate. You
yeah,
can also
yeah.
either way.
I've represented both in my career. I've been dun sa executor. I've been also on the part of.
So pretty well-rounded your experience mo. You can look at it from both angles, both ways. Okay.
Yeah, I've defended nagkaroon na rin na may nag-claim dun sa out of nowhere. And we had to look at the evidence of that claim.
You mentioned a couple of nuances, no? Sabi mo, legal nuances. One is, kung yung namatay kailangan domicile dito sa UK.
Yes.
Sabi mo, half of the time here, half of the time there, may mga ganong mga, ano, di ba? May mga ganong mayayaman. Pero kung a property, for example, kung non-domicile dito, pero may property dito, is that not a way of going after it? Yung non-domicile yung namatay, yung kine-claim against ng whoever the claimants are there, hindi ba sila, no? They cannot claim because they're going after a property of a non-domicile person here in the UK.
In my opinion as a lawyer, they can't because the law is very clear on that one. The lawyer, the claimant or the deceased has to be a non-domicile. So if you're the one who's claiming, your argument should be focused on proving na domicile talaga yung deceased dito.
Maski ang property nandito, maski hindi siya domicile. Kasi ang domicile, di ba, non-domicile is you don't go beyond 6 months yata.
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Domicile is...
Ano ba ibig sabihin? What's the definition of a non-domicile?
It's very complicated. It's very complicated na topic. Because some have been away for years but have always wanted to go back to the UK. I don't know, accountants will probably tell me more, but my own legal experience of a domicile debate in this context, which we did in one of our cases, kasi yung namatay nasa Spain, I could say, nasa Spain at that time, and most of the time for years, but he's always wanted to go back in the UK. It's not just about being away for a certain period of time. That's residence, that's habitual residence. I think yung sinasabi mo, Mr. Laragan, domicile is a bit deeper than that, and it goes into the intention of the person kung saan talaga siya magsisettle. Very, very hard to prove. Very hard to prove. Or disprove.
Let's put in this, meron parang input lang dito si Edgardo, no? Yeah, sabi niya, I agree with Attorney Dana about jurisdiction. Sometimes it's complicated because tax law in Jersey is different in England. That's why Attorney Dana can help you on that matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think generally a lot of it sounds like a cop out. On that particular case that we said that I shared, yung domicile. It's not just residence. It's not just habitual residence. Habitual residence is 6 months. I think that's what you were saying, Mr. Laragan. Habitual residence. It goes beyond that. This is really talagang kakalkalin mo kung ano yung intention ng namatay na kahit nasa, someone who's been exiled for a long time but for whatever reason has to stay outside. Pero parati niyang sinasabi, I want to go back to UK. I've always intended to go back to the UK. UK is my motherland. UK is where I want to be, where I want to die, where I want to be buried. UK has always been my home. Those are evidence of domicile. So isa talaga siya sa pinaka we call it nebulous na principle in law and in accounting. So get legal advice on that one, but it depends on the case. It'll be one of those things that will likely be an issue kung may international element, yung taong namatay. Pero kung wala namang international element, then you don't need to worry about this.
Okay. Kasi parang ang iniisip ko kasi yung mga non-dom, for example, is for tax purposes nga, no? Because if by law yata sa tax, if you go beyond, for example, 6 months and a day or two or something yata, you are parang entitled, well, not really entitled, but you are supposed to pay tax doon sa place na yon, no? Parang
Yeah,
ganun yata.
it's not just about tax as well. It's really just about intention. In this particular, the purpose of this for this particular case, it's really just about the intention. And domicile can change. Domicile can change depending on the intention. It's really not about a form that they filled out or what they said on the tax. It goes deeper than that for the purposes of this particular litigation. I think the reason why I feel quite strongly about this because I think I spent we spent a few months arguing about it a few years ago, and dun ko talaga na-realize na it's a very complicated topic. Na sometimes you may not even get to an answer, and that's the reason why cases settle. That's the reason why cases don't go to trial because no one wants to gamble on anong sasabihin ng korte on a final hearing.
Okay. So itong domiciled, kailangan domiciled. So that has to be established, di ba? Kasi parang hindi mo masyadong, yun ba, kaya mo sinabing legal nuance dahil it becomes complicated, it becomes unpursuable, ganun ba yan? Because
Not necessarily.
Hindi naman?
As I've said, may mga cases na alam mo namang hindi walang international element. So we'll just put domicile is a non-issue here.
Okay.
So that's a one-liner. Domicile is a non-issue, and then it's one of those in our checklist. Is domicile an issue here? Kung alam naman natin na may mga tao na 20 years dito but 6 years 6 months sa Pilipinas, pero ang buong lahat ng asset nila andito, they made the will na dito sila ililibing, all of their alam natin na nagbayad sila ng tax dito, and for all intents and purposes, lawyers can nip that in the bud straight away and we say, are we agreed? There's no domicile issue here. Klaro naman na domicile dito yung tao. So that's how we deal with it. Is it going to be a problem or is it not going to be a problem?
Okay, going back to the time limit, no, sabi mo, ito pa rin yung two legal nuances. So, 6 months from the grant of probate. For example, for somebody who's, ito, yung mga, di ba, provisions for dependents, supposedly, it could be a spouse, cohabitee, or whoever, ano yan? Do you know it? Can you find out kung may probate? Kasi when do you know? When does the probate start? When do you know when your 6 months is up? How does one get to know it? They have to go to a lawyer and lawyer finds out for them. How do you find out?
May database po online.
Database?
May public database online.
So if somebody approaches you, for a situation, kunyari, gusto lang nilang mag-claim and everything, kayo, initially, first step, you can go on the database and find...
straight away.
Anong inaano? Yung pangalan ng deceased? Kompleto yun?
Pangalan. I think the date of death. Yeah, I think the date of death. It's
so
public.
yan, dito sa very transparent sa UK yan?
Very transparent.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's very transparent. Yeah.
May friend ako, no? Baka nanonood siya ngayon, no? Well, friend in the sense na she was an avid listener of mine sa Pinoy Radio UK. And what happened was, the husband died. Okay, Pinay to, the husband died. So, I think, I don't know if it was the sisters or the children who were trying to frighten her away. So, she was living in the house, yung kanilang bahay ng kanyang spouse, and they were parang scaring her, frightening her para umalis na lang. Parang even the evening, would you believe, nagsishow kami ng evening, gabi, night jam halimbawa, na siya, nagkamatawag siya live on air, telling her, ako, kinakabahan ako, saan merong parang may lalaki, may mga tao sa labas, may parang may nandidinig akong sound, no? And she was doing it almost every night, no? So we were giving her parang sort of giving her company, parang kung sakaling may mangyari, pinasok siya, itatawag namin on air na andun ng bahay na yun, pinasok siya, may ginawa sa kanya. Eventually, siguro sa takot niya, umalis na siya, no? Yung iniwan na lang niya yung property, hindi na lang no? Yan ba, for example, pwede ba niyang balikan pa, habulin pa?
She's gonna have to she can apply to get an extension, But depende kung gaano katagal yung delay.
Many years ago na to eh.
It'll be very hard. Kasi
Really?
it'll be
Okay.
very, very hard. At that time, I can tell from the facts of the case, it seems like as a spouse, as I've said, she could have been a potential claimant. If that's a situation that happens to you, you can apply for a non-molestation order. You should call the police straight away. You can apply for an injunction. And may mga cases, a lot of people say, o paano yan, wala naman akong pambayad ng abogado. Actually, this is the area na may mga abogado na nagtitake ng no-win, no-fee. If the case is good.
Okay. So kung mangyari ho sa inyo yan, ito, kasi yun talaga, kilala ko yun, no? One of my avid listeners, kaibigan ko na ngayon, although she got married again to another, well, bless her, no? Nakapag-asawa uli, no? But, yeah, yung episode na yun, almost every night on our show, nandun siya, no?
Safety muna po dapat.
Safety
call
muna,
the
oo
police.
nga, safety,
Kahit walang nangyayari, it's always just call the police. Kasi makikita dyan or may mga CCTV naman yan pwede makita kung ano yung nangyayari at kung sino yung who's going around. She can try recording kung sino yung andon, and the police can come over and see what's happening. And kung may mga direct threat na text or messages sa kanya, she can definitely in any event that would be a harassment claim too. So, yun muna yung siguro kailangan i-deal ng abogado so that the client is more comfortable, first of all, and safe, not just comfortable but safe. And then after that, nawala na yung pressure, client can be in a better suited place to think about kung gusto man nila to make a claim under Inheritance Act 1975, but definitely, that seems like a potential claim at that time.
Oo. Sayang, no? Kasi nag-iisa lang siya. She was brought by the guy over doon sa place niya. I forgot the place exactly where, parang siya, kumbaga nag-iisa lang siya, dinala ng guy doon. So, hindi niya place yun. Place nung guy yun. Doon din yata nakatry yung mga anak. So, yeah, she was being harassed, no? Okay. May question tayo. Okay. Direct. Okay, meron tayong next segment. May question dito. One or two questions. Take it away. Okay, ayan, may tanong tayo dito. Sige, pasok, direct, ano yan? Okay, ayan, magandang gabi, Attorney Danna, Sir Sonny. Gusto po ng asawa ko na maghiwalay na kami at umuwi na ako sa Pinas. Kapag nag-aaway po kami, naging violent na siya at sinisigawan niya ako. Tinatapon at binabasag na rin po niya yung anong madampot siguro niya, no? Umabot na po sa point na pinapalayas niya po ako. Di ko po alam ang gagawin ko. Dapat po bang dumaan sa tamang proseso ang paghihiwalay? May bahay po kami under mortgage at sa kanya po ito nakapangalan. Okay. Ano po ang mangyayari? Sana po matulungan niyo ako. Salamat po. Mary D, no?
Mary, and the only reason I will say is kung British citizen ka, and you can access public funds, if you are a victim of domestic violence, first of all, safety muna, I always say, tawag ka ng police. And the reason being is that if you have sufficient evidence nitong domestic abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, you can potentially get legal aid. Legal aid is wala kang babayaran na legal fee. Gobyerno ang tumutulong sa mga victims of domestic abuse. So yes, kailangan you need to go through the process, pero may mga court applications that you can make. To have a non-molestation order against your husband na para hindi mag-promise siya sa korte na hindi ka na niya sasaktan, and that will be lodged with the police as well, so that's called a non-molestation order. And then may isa pang order which is non-occupation order. Pwede mong sabihin sa korte na siya ang umalis sa bahay nyo, which is one of the potential remedy, or may mga options. If you seek help with the local council, they can rehouse you kung ikaw ay victim ng domestic abuse. And then you still have to go through the process of getting divorced, sorting out the finances, And hindi mo na mention ang anak, but I will say it. I always say tatlong areas yung kailangan i-deal: the divorce in itself, the finances, and the children. Yan ay kung may access ka dito. I always say, kasi kahit hindi kami legal aid, I always say, kung under duty kami, to say if you are eligible, then that is an option for you, and that will lift the burden of, kasi ang dami nagsasabi, mahal mag-divorce, mahal ng proceedings, what are my options? So that will definitely lift a huge burden on your shoulder in terms of worrying about the finances, and that's only available if you're a victim of domestic abuse. Now, kung hindi, you'd still have to go through the rigmarole. Kung kahit na halimbawa kung wala ka pang UK passport or Philippine passport pa rin, unfortunately legal aid wouldn't be available for you. You're gonna have to go as under private funding. Ikaw yung magpa-fund ng legal proceedings mo. The same proceedings could apply. You can ask for a non-molestation order, non-occupation order. You'd still have to go through the rigmarole. But as I've said, safety muna, Mary. Please, if you're at risk, tawag sa police, or try to reach out. May mga organizations that will be able to help. Hindi lang abogado, yes, abogado as well, but organizations who may be able to help out and give you that comfort. Minsan kasi sasabihin, ito yung legal, ito, how about the practical side of things? There are women's organization out there that could help, so look them up. Okay?
Okay, attorney, ano siya, no? Parang pagka wala pa siya, hindi siya settled dito, for example, kasi ang pagkakaintindi ko sa mga spouse visa, fiancé, spouse visa, 2.5 years until you reach the 5 years, then you can apply for a permanent residency, no? Kung hindi siya dyan, she will now have to use her own funds, ganun, to...
Oh, not necessarily as well. Kung andito siya, and kung mapuprove niya, but it is a bit harder. Kung settled ka dito, it's less hard. Kung mapuprove niya na may domestic violence, she can apply under, I think Attorney Lira have sorted, under victim of domestic abuse to still stay in the UK. In terms of getting legal aid, it may be hard, but there are organizations out there who may be able to help. It may be hard kung hindi ka settled dito, because yun yung no access to public funds, yun yung parati nilang sinasabi. But there are organizations, Women's Aid, there are a few charities who are willing to assist international women na biktima ng domestic abuse, but they need evidence and they will ask for police report, and that's the reason why we say kung talagang may nangyayari, tawag ng police para magkaroon ng police reference number.
Okay. Just to enlighten us, no, sa divorce dito sa UK, baka yung mga viewers natin nag-divorce, okay lang siguro, alam nila, pero yung mga hindi pa at baka magdi-divorce, parang malaman lang, no. Ganito, sa Pilipinas, attorney, may maghihiwalay yung mga mag-asawa, halimbawa, naghihintayan kung sino kasi annulment sa atin, di ba? Naghihintayan dahil, let's say, baka isa doon na nakapag-abroad, nakapangasawa, nagkaroon ng boyfriend o girlfriend na may pera, sila na namumuhunan doon sa annulment. So, di ba, kung maghihintayan, minsan, kaya hindi sila naghihiwalay dahil walang mag-i-initiate ng pera dahil magastos yung annulment. Dito ba sa UK ba, both parties ba, kunyari, maghihiwalay, both parties ba kailangan may lawyer o kailangan mag-initiate ng divorce tapos ikaw na lang bahala magbayad ng mga natin, ng mga gagastusin natin? Dito ba kanya-kanya? Paano ba ang style dito?
Yeah, kanya-kanya. Not necessarily both. Kung simple, yung may mga simple divorces na wala namang anak, walang joint properties, and talagang gusto lang nilang mag-divorce. Matagal na sila separated. some of them do try it on their own. Some of them one would have a lawyer. Yun yung ano nila, isa yung may lawyer, isa yung maghihintay ng divorce papers. It's a different process here kasi dito hindi siya compared sa Pilipinas, hindi siya procedurally ganun kahirap. You know, the court it says that, look, if unreasonable yung behavior ng asawa mo, you can, and if talaga your marriage is irretrievably broken down, pwede ka na mag-apply for divorce. So on that note, evidentially hindi rin siya ganun kahirap. And court fee is not as much, it's 593, but not as much kumpara sa Pilipinas na it's 593 pounds. Lawyers fees just for the divorce is hindi naman nagfi-fix fee naman ng maraming abogado just on divorcing parties. We're not talking about finances, we're not talking about debate about the children, just purely on undoing the marriage. Dito kasi hindi ganun kahirap, in my opinion, kumpara dun sa naririnig ko as to annulment process sa Pilipinas. So they tend to keep that in mind as an option na some people have done it on their own, and some people were able to say, okay, one party lang yung may abogado. It's fine kasi hindi ganun kakomplikado yung papers on the divorce, on just the divorce, the main divorce.
Okay, all right. Ayan.
But on that note, I will follow up. Ang complication, in terms yung nasasabi niyo napakatagal, napakagulo, it's normally on the two other areas, the finances and the children.
Ayun. Okay, all right. At least dagdag kaalaman for today. All right. Teka muna. We're just wait, okay. All right. Okay. Attorney, tanong ko lang well, we yung tawag dito, itong ating yung event nung Saturday, no, yung legal clinic. I mean, it was nice, no? Everybody was happy, no? Yung team mo.
Yeah, everyone's really happy. Both sides team ng embassy team, our team, everyone felt that it was a very fulfilling day. I hope yung mga pumunta, hindi man namin nasulba agad yung, well, we gave what we thought were practical advice. Hindi man, minsan yung iba may mga elements ng problema nila nasa Pilipinas, so they have to consult with a Filipino lawyer. But we tried giving as much as we can na pwede nilang may mauwi sila na piece of advice that day. So it was all throughout a very positive day, Mr. Laragan, and bonus talaga na nakita natin yung mga viewers natin, na-meet natin sila. So that was a nice day. It's a very good day.
Wow, okay. Well, nakakatuwa. It's nice lang, no? Kaya ko lang naman itanong before we ended dahil that was the first thing that we talked about today, and of course it was nice na seeing you last Saturday, no? And it was great seeing some friends together. Well, okay, I guess papaalam na tayo, attorney. So it's been a wonderful night. Maganda tong claims, no, under oh yeah, okay.
Yung full name niya, Inheritance.
Inheritance.
Provision for Family
claims
and
under
Independence Act.
Inheritance Act. Yung hawak mo na yan, that's the list of but it gives you kung sino, kung paano ka you can claim. Is that what?
I don't know. No, this is Section 3. This is matters to which the court is to have regard. So factors which the court will regard when it's making a decision. So that's the appointed a section lang yan. Section lang po yan ng ano. So
section lang yan. Okay.
A section lang yan. Pakita ko lang kung paano what an act looks like in paper. So that's just from online. Lahat naman ngayon ng mga legislation dito sa UK, they're all available online if you are interested, kung ikaw ay interested in law, if you're a law student, or if you're just generally curious, pwede nyo pong i-google to, it's the legislation, kung nakita mo yung legislation yung official legislation, kailangan yung official legislation page, you'll be able to see yung mga dinidiscuss natin, yung mga acts na dinidiscuss natin dito. So, yeah, it's quite an interesting topic, one of my favorites as a lawyer. And siguro ito yung a case which I have seen go to full final trial. I've seen cases settle as well very quickly. I've seen cases drag on for a while. Very interesting. If you're a law student, this is a very interesting part of the legal industry in the UK. Kasi special to sa English jurisdiction.
Yes. Oh, well, quite intriguing din, no? Tsaka very interesting. For example, wala ka sa will, and then you can also claim pala, no? May ways, yun nga,
Exactly.
diba? You will have to qualify that, no? Yung ano na yan. For example, kung you were in maintenance, you were being maintained by, it could be one of the reasons, no? At, well, thank you, attorney, for this wonderful lesson that we learned today, no? Pasensya ka na, tanong ako ng tanong, no? Marami ako,
No,
nililinaw
it's
ko lang, no?
okay. As I've said,
Para-
paborito ko po to. It's really one of my
Oo nga.
favorite topics of all time. But especially yung first full trial ko siguro as a, di pa ata ako fully qualified nun eh. I
Oo.
remember it was this case talagang 2-3 taon ka atang sinundan hanggang matapos.
Really?
At hanggang,
From the time that you were Xeroxing and something, doing the
Oo,
fact
yeah,
until the time...
hanggang training na ata ako. I can't remember kung training ako. I think training ako nung napunta sa trial, so matagal. And I really remember the case. Up until now, yung may mga cases talaga na hindi mo malilimutan. Hindi mo it will stick to your mind, and iisipin mo, 10 years down the line, you kind of look back and you hope okay pa rin sila. Our client, we got a very good result, nanalo kami. So our client is very happy with us. So, I think a year down the line, our client was still saying hello and sending us. So minsan naisip ko, sana okay pa rin siya, sana okay sila ng pamilya nila. You think about that. You think about those cases.
Okay, yeah, all right. So, yeah, kaya nga, when you were talking about yung... sandali lang nga. Ano ba to? Yeah, when you were talking about... when you were talking about, ano tawag dito, yun nga, you do it positively. When you were asked to Xerox, make it a study time because when you, di ba, binabasa mo rin yung cases
Yeah.
din. So, get
Yes.
maganda yan. Very, very interesting.
Ako ata nag-Xerox nung trial bundle nun eh. And
Well, that's good.
I was the assistant. I was the assistant for the whole trial. Apat na araw ata yung trial nun eh. Ako yung runner. All those time ako yung nag-Xerox ng bundle, so I know where exactly the documents were, and it really stuck to me. This particular area of law really stuck to me, and I get excited when I get cases like this again.
Okay, well, attorney, how do they contact you nga? Baka meron ka pang gustong, may mga shout-outs ka or friends who are celebrating their birthdays or, special friend who are watching right now, mga kaibigan natin. But go right ahead, please, attorney.
Siguro, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Laragan. Thank you, Sol. Tita Emeline, Nanay Emeline, Tita Cora, Edgar Duay, and Irene Edgardo Cagahas-chan, Analu Antipuesto, and sa lahat ng mga pumunta at sumuporta, mga nag-book, humingi ng advice, and sa lahat ng embassy officials who really made Saturday very, very fulfilling. Maraming salamat po. It was such a good day. It was such a very, very good day na mapakita din natin yung hospitality at warmth natin bilang Pilipino sa ibang lahi. In the same way, yung team members ko, they were able to share yung skill set nila sa komunidad natin. It was such a good way of yung sharing yung mga buhay-buhay natin. So, thank you everyone. Maraming salamat po. And I just want to say na, whatever's happening with the world at the moment, may everyone keep safe. Sana, you're with your family and you have your peace, your happiness, and your joy with your family. And I hope to see you still next week. Happy Tuesday, Ole. I hope to we hope to see you personally again, Peak District man yan, or ewan ko kung may ano ba, may ano nga ba yun, barangay Barrio Fiesta. But yes, to everyone, thank you so much. If you've got one of those queries, or if you've got a friend na may ganitong case or any legal concern, you can email me at d.quinto@dbsolicitors.com or call me at 01234 And before we go, thank you, Direk Pao, sa mahal na mahal naming direktor, si Direk Pao. Malapit na po siyang graduate, so kailangan we're gonna celebrate that as well. Yeah, Direk Pao, you're very kind, very supportive. Tawan-tawa ako kay Direk Pao. So thank you, Direk Pao. Keep safe ka dyan sa Pinas. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, nako. Thank you very much, attorney. It's been a wonderful night. Marami tayong natutunan for tonight. And thank you very much. It was wonderful seeing you, no? Yung mga friends na binabanggit natin, no? Ako rin, nakita natin sila, no? Well, marami tayong mga binanggit. But I'd like also to add the name of Leslie Hakaban, no? Si Leslie was there.
Yes, Leslie.
Yeah, si Leslie, mabuhay ka, no? Thanks for dropping by. For being there, no? At least na-meet na rin sila yung ating mga friends, no? And yes, so hopefully yung mga pinag-uusapan, mga Peak District, kung saan-saan yan, sabi ni Emeline Rafael, sabi-sabihin nyo lang date. Ganyan, no?
Kayang-kaya.
Okay yan, no? Kayang-kaya yan. So, ang problema lang, hindi ko alam kung Peak District ba ang pinag-uusapan natin, akyatan o Peak District lang para pumunta ron, no? Because baka mapahiya ako kay Emeline dahil alam mo naman si Emeline, very fit, no? At her age. Ayan, no? Tayo, siguro mahusay magsayaw yan. Kaya, masyado silang, maliksi, no? So, attorney, thank you very much. We're so proud of you. Yes, it was a wonderful, congratulations for a wonderful and successful legal clinic that you held in coordination with in partnership, with the Philippine Embassy. We're so proud of you that you were parang chosen, or you were, given this partnership with the embassy to celebrate International Women's Month, no?
National Women's Month, that's right.
So ikaw sa Deo Valente, and ikaw, no, in particular, and your team, no? We had a wonderful time meeting the whole team, no? So those are very rare occasions, and by way of what you've done and what the embassy and you partnered on, this came about, no? Getting to meet the staff, di ba? So,
right.
Nakakatuwa naman. So, hope it happens again. And other than that, we can have yung mga get-togethers natin, like yung mga plano na magkita-kita. So, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. Sa ngalan mo, attorney, sa ngalan ni Direk Pao, ito po si Sonny Laragang nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay dito po sa Legal Advice Corner on a happy Tuesday. We'll do it again next week. So till then, take care, God bless, and good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you. So you can be there for them.